Okay, really quickly, let me give you a quick summary of Michael Brown's talk at the Convergence conference on demons. And demons in the Old Testament, demons in the New Testament. I'm driving around downtown Oklahoma City. Beautiful no, not quite, well, kind of beautiful. Better than it used to be downtown Oklahoma City. And I'm in Bricktown. So, might be jumping around a little bit. But Michael Brown was talking about demons, and let me tell you something about the charismatic understanding here compared to other people's understanding. Now, again, if you remember in a previous video, I talked about what the definition of charismatic is, and I said that a charismatic is one who believes in the continuation of the supernatural sign gifts, that they are active in the local church or normative in the local church, and that they are that you should personally be pursuing them. There's really nothing about a charismatic in particular, theologically speaking, whenever I talk about it for the most part, that says some other things like you believe in demon possession, or you believe in the casting out of demons, or you believe that we should be casting out demons. You see, sometimes that's what we think of charismatics, people who believe in demons behind everything, or you believe somebody raising their hands during worship. Or another one, I think more importantly, that I'll talk about later, is the expectancy that you have towards God's miraculous intervention and the power of the Holy Spirit to come. The expectancy, you expect it to happen. That is not what makes it charismatic in a theological sense, maybe in another sense, but not in the sense I'm talking about it. Now, he did talk about demons, and one thing I did there's a couple things I disagreed with him about. I agreed with just about everything. I thought it was a great session, but one thing he did talk about was the secessionists' belief or lack of belief in demons. Secessionists do not, by any sense, not believe in demons. I believe in demons. I believe that demons exist. However, the biggest difference, maybe you might say, in somebody who is more charismatic in this way and me or somebody else that's less charismatic is that you believe we know how to cast them out, we are called to cast them out, that kind of thing. I'm perfectly open to casting out a demon. I'm perfectly open to listening to somebody talk about the signs of demon possession. So I would love to see that. What I would love to hear him talk about more than anything else was really two things. Number one, how do you know if somebody's demon possessed? How do you know, what are the tests that you can do? Maybe we can't be completely sure, but give me some indication, because that's what I was looking for. That's what I wanted out of this. And then what's the method by which we cast them out? That's another thing, is there some type of particular formula that is given either it can be either in the Bible, which I would prefer, or just in tradition that we have used throughout the years and that has been effective. Now, we aren't Catholics. Catholics do have a handbook on exorcism. They do have groups of a few priests that are qualified for exorcism. There's not enough, they say, in America. They've started a new school for that. So it is something that Catholics do regularly. They use Latin, and they use holy water, and they use crosses, all the things that I just don't think are legitimate. Open to that as well, but I just don't think they're legitimate. I would love, by the way, to go to a Catholic training on how to cast out demons, a priest's training. I'm going over railroad tracks, bumpy, okay, but they won't let me. Of course, I'm not a priest. But that was good. He also talked about the apostles being called to cast out demons, and that was fine. The apostles being called to cast out demons, whenever he says go and heal the sick and cast out demons, he was talking to the apostles. He also, I think, believe he told that to the group of 70 he sent out. But I never see anything that calls upon the church. I think that's particular to the apostles, at least in that context. Open to being wrong on that, but I think that's particular to the apostles. He did use Mark chapter 16, the longer ending of Mark chapter 16, that the majority of scholars do not believe should be in the Bible because it's not in any of the earlier manuscripts. And using that, he said, I believe that it is true teaching of Jesus, and that is where Christians are called to cast out demons. All Christians are called to cast out demons. That would be a sign by which you, are a Christian, is that you do cast out demons. I thought that was, unfortunate he used that passage, and unfortunate that he said he believed that it was the actual words of Jesus. I do not believe that, but that's okay. But other than that, it was a good session. I like Michael Brown. Me and Michael Brown actually kind of joined forces back a few years ago to critique very negatively, for the most part, the Strange Fire Conference, which was just the opposite of this conference, by John MacArthur and R.C. Sproul, guys I like a whole lot, but to condemn charismatics and the calling of the Spirit. I'm going to talk about the expectancy of the Spirit here pretty soon, but this is enough to kind of summarize the last session. It was a good session. I thank Michael Brown for doing it, and I just wish there was a little bit more in those two areas. So until a little bit later, whenever I give you a next update, thanks for listening to theologians in cars, in Camaros, casting out demons.